Greetings, family. Joyous rising, great rising, grand rising. This is Monday, January the 30th, 2023, and the time is 1:33 p.m. Welcome. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you. Now, I know that you may or may not believe this, but we have heard some breaking news that sounds pretty exciting. And of course, this is just rumor or word on the street. Well, word on the street is that Bye Bye Man, you all know who I'm talking about, has allegedly been arrested and taken to the clink clink. Now, we have to always use our discernment to detect if some of this information is true or not. This is allegedly some military sources. And if you desire to find out if that's true or not, or go to a source where you can hear that for yourselves and read that for yourselves, then go to the restoredrepublic.co. That's restoredrepublic.co and listen for yourself. Or you can also read that news for yourself to see what you think about it. But allegedly, Bye Bye Man is on his way to the clink clink. So that was the news that came out this morning. And I decided to go ahead and report that to you because I'm sure you all wanted that to know. Now, so much, family. Hello, good morning. It's good to see you all. So much is coming out in the news, behind the scenes, at the forefront as we head into Freedom Day. You all know what Freedom Day is because we shared that on yesterday. But before we get into Freedom Day news, then let's see what we've heard before. Let's look at this. And this was produced actually by Ron Freeland. Ron Freeland recorded this and he allowed me to share it with you all just so you can see what's being told is going on behind the scenes. Who is Bye Bye Man? You know, his name sounds like bye, but you're not allowed to say his name. He has a number of a 4 and a 6. You all know who he is. He allegedly has gone to the clink clink, and somebody else is saying that it was also on Patriot News. I didn't know about that. So come on in, family, as we tell you what's going on with Iraq and the Iraqi Dinar as we move towards Freedom Day. So again, the word on the street, according to now somebody is saying is Patriot News, but also according to the restoredrepublic.co, Restored Republic, that Bye Bye Man is on his way to the clink clink. So we all know here that there are certain things that are coming online with Nasara, Jasara, our new gold back currency being formally introduced soon. We're going into Freedom Day. So we know that it will likely not all happen under this current administration. So he got to get out of there. He got to be out of there, right? You already know that he's under investigation for his alleged dealings over in the ukulele and for his dealings and involvement with his son's corruption going on over there in the ukulele, the Ukraine. So if he is under investigation, then we can surmise that it may be true that he's on his way to the clink clink. So good morning, everybody. I love you all so much. That is the breaking news, okay? So we're going to investigate that a little further. And as you all know, we have to use our discernment to detect whether or not this information is true. In other news, listen to this. This was actually recorded by a guy named Ron Freeland, who gave me permission to continue to use this.
Alexa, when will the foreign currency reevaluation take place?
From certlibrary.com. The foreign currency revaluation has a considered date of January 31st. Did that answer your question?
Let's play it again, because I didn't hear it.
Alexa, when will the foreign currency reevaluation take place?
From certlibrary.com. The foreign currency revaluation has a considered date of January 31st. Did that answer your question?
One more time, Alexa.
Alexa, when will the foreign currency reevaluation take place?
From certlibrary.com. The foreign currency revaluation has a considered date of January 31st. Did that answer your question?
So there's a considered date for the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar to be January 31st, which is tomorrow. Now, that's exciting to me because a revaluation means that you restore a currency to its correct value. So when United States had put sanctions on these countries, or when the United States went to war with these countries like Iraq, we devalued their currency. We demolished their economy. We destroyed their markets, their roads, and all that through war and sanctions, and their currencies became devalued. Well, recently in October, what happened was the Iraqi premier came to the forefront and he said, I am going to do three things. He said, my currency had been devalued by the administration that was before me, and they did not consider the everyday people when they were doing this. Now, they significantly devalued my currency during the global pandemic, he said. But he went on to say that whereas they did not consider the people, I am going to consider the people. And then he said in October in the news, I'm going to do three things. This is the Iraqi premier we're talking about. He said, I am going to fight endemic corruption. I am going to work with other countries to restore my stolen money. And we all know here that money is precious metals, gold and silver. And the third thing I'm going to do is revalue the IQD, the Iraqi dinar, against the United States dollar. So when he told us this was going to occur in October 2022, we knew that it was going to happen very, very soon. He's going to fight endemic corruption. He's going to bring back his stolen money, and he's going to revalue his IQD against the United States dollar. Well, this is very interesting news that came out at the end of October, considering that country after country has left the United States dollar and fled to gold and other commodities, such as, silver, palladium, platinum, and any other commodities that may back their currencies. Now, a lot of people wouldn't say, that, the BRICS Union and Iraq and Saudi Arabia fled to gold. They were scared to say it. They were afraid for some reason. They would only say, they're fleeing to commodities, or, they're fleeing to a basket of currencies backed by commodities. But what is the number one commodity? It is gold and silver, because gold and silver are money. So, having said all that, and keeping in mind what we just listened to when our friend Ron Freeland recorded his conversation with Siri and asked, when will the foreign currency revaluation occur? Siri said it has a considered date of January 31st, which is tomorrow. Now, saying that a currency will revalue does not necessarily mean you're going to go into the bank and exchange on tomorrow, but it means that the correct value will be assessed or brought back to that currency. That is what a revaluation is. When a currency had been formerly devalued and brought down and made worthless through war and sanctions, what you will have to do is bring back commodities, restore the gold and the silver back to your country, like the premier of Iraq said he was going to do, and then you return the currency to its natural value or its former value or higher. So this is very exciting, that we know this information has come out from the Iraqi premier, and we've listened to this conversation of Ron Freeland with Siri, and other people have come to my platform and said, I did the same thing. I asked Siri the same thing. When will the foreign currency revaluation occur? And Siri said it has a considered date of January 31st. So having said that, family, we're hearing news actually out of the Middle East and out of Iraq that the Iraqi dinar will likely revalue on tomorrow. And I'm going to give you those videos, and I'll put them in the description section for you to hear for yourself. So what one person has stated, I think it was actually this morning, is that all sales of the IQD, which is the Iraqi dinar, ends tomorrow. So I can only take him for what he said. He said all sales and use of the IQD in Iraq, at least, is supposed to end tomorrow. And then I heard another source that said all sales of the IQD will be taken off the market, or will stop tomorrow as well. So dealers may stop. I'm not sure if dealers will stop for sure, but dealers may stop all over the country or all over the world. However, again, this gentleman said all sales and use of the IQD will end tomorrow. He said, so people might still be buying on the black market, but when you end the sale of the Iraqi dinar, according to the source, he said that could officially stop the use of the USD, and it could allow an international RV tomorrow. It could allow an international revaluation on tomorrow, according to this person. And I believe that person goes by the name of Dinar Data on YouTube. So follow him and see what he says. Then another source says that the Iraqi dinar could possibly revalue tomorrow because they have taken a lot of dinar off the streets. And when you take the dinar off the street, that raises the value of a currency. So that is what this source said. And I'm just reporting it to you today so you can know what's going on. Now, this gentleman came on, he went further to say that there's a huge CBI, or Central Bank of Iraq, reserve of $100 billion of Iraqi dinar. And he said, in addition, there's almost 38-ton stockpile of gold that is being held by the CBI, or the Central Bank of Iraq. So they have enough gold to revalue the currency, essentially, is what he's saying. And if you remove the currency from the streets and you tell all the dealers to stop selling them, then that's going to shoot the demand of the IQD up, which would increase the value of the IQD. Then another source said that the United States dollar is will no longer be viewed as legal tender on February the 1st. So if the United States dollar will no longer be seen as legal tender on February 1st, what are we to expect as we enter into Freedom Day, which is February the 1st? So considering all this information, all these sources that I've been reading and listening to, I thought I'd go to Nadar, because Nadar, or NADR, is a guy that a lot of us follow because he's from the Middle East. And he's always telling us, what's going on with the Iraqi dinar, but cautioning us to keep our emotions in check and not get too excited. So he said that he doesn't believe that there will be a rate change on tomorrow. So he said, don't get too excited. He doesn't think that they're ready for a rate change. However, he said, I do feel in my gut, that something special is going to happen tomorrow on January 31st. He said, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but we can expect some type of good news. That's what Nadar said from the Middle East. He said, because they've had a lot of closed doors meetings going on behind the scenes in Iraq. And there have been information that they've been taking the dinars off the street. So something may occur on tomorrow, January the 31st, which is the day before Freedom Day. So why is Freedom Day important? Freedom Day is actually February the 1st, which is 2 days away. And every February the 1st for the last few years, I've been saying, oh, it's a special day. Something could happen, but we're not told about Freedom Day that often. But Freedom Day is a day that commemorates the day in 1865 when President Abraham Lincoln signed what later became known as the 13th Amendment. And that amendment is important because it effectively ended slavery. And I put that in quotation marks because it may have ended chattel slavery, but still everybody all over the world was considered slaves by the United States central banks and all the central banks all over the world. But Freedom Day is important because it's supposed to help us to commemorate 1865, which effectively ended slavery. And freedom is one of the founding principles of our country, right? So we should commemorate this day and we should reflect upon all the wonderful freedoms that we enjoy in America. And it doesn't matter what type of problems you have with America or what type of issues you have with America. we really do enjoy many freedoms, or we did, that other countries do not enjoy. Now we know other administrations have come online, which is why they have to go, to the clink clink and try to take away our freedoms. But let's celebrate Freedom Day with excitement and joy, and let's usher in the Nasara. Let's usher in this revaluation of currencies worldwide. Let's usher in our joy by keeping our vibrations high and being happy and excited and hopeful and thankful for all the things that the Creator has done for us. And I'm going to get to the section here and answer your questions, but let freedom ring, families. It doesn't matter how anybody else feels, as long as you are staying in a high vibrational and celebratory mood, you will raise the vibrations of those around you and usher in our freedom, our prosperity, our sovereignty, and our peace. Now, on Freedom Day, we are told that the United States dollar will no longer be viewed as legal tender. Now, we'll see if that's the truth on February the 1st, which is 2 days away. And then we're told on February the 2nd, the United States Treasury is supposed to destroy the fiat dollars or the greenbacks that were sent back to them from ATM machines, from banks, and from stores. You all have been to the bank, some of you, and to the ATM machines and saw that they were empty. Some of you have gone to stores like Walmart and Family Dollar and other stores, and we're told you can only use credit cards. If you go to the zoo and some of these places that we take our children, our families, oftentimes, ever since the beginning of the year, last year, they will not and have not taken dollars, but only credit cards. That is because they've been preparing us and ushering us into a new dispensation where we're no longer using the greenback dollar. So we talked about February 1st, when the United States dollar is allegedly no longer viewed as legal tender. And that makes sense when you think about Basel III compliance, which made gold and silver a tier 1 asset, particularly gold. And when you think about Basel IV, they said all banks need to have gold and silver to back their positions. And they said that banks had to become more transparent. They couldn't use our money for credit purposes, or they couldn't steal our money, all those type of things. So February the 1st, the US dollar is no longer to be viewed as legal tender, that we're hearing. And the United States Treasury allegedly will destroy all fiat dollars on February the 2nd. Then on February the 3rd, all Basel IV compliant banks are supposed to go public with the news of our gold-backed currency. So 3 things are supposed to be happening. Actually, 4. Iraqi Dinar revalued on the 31st. United States dollar no longer viewed as legal currency or legal tender on February 1st, Freedom Day. The United States Treasury destroying fiat dollars beginning February the 3rd. And lastly, Basel IV compliant banks are supposed to go public with gold-backed currencies. So that's the good news that I wanted to bring to you today. Also, the news that I started out with, that allegedly Bye-Bye Man, y'all know who I'm talking about, I can't even say his name, who took something unlawfully, allegedly was arrested and taken to the clink clink, or his clone, on today. And you can hear that particular news at the Restored Republic, which is also Patriot News, or restoredrepublic.co. So that's it, family. I love you all so much. Yes, Susan, yes. Our moderator, Kathy, said that Trump came to South Carolina yesterday and spoke. She said, check out all the pictures posted. They show sold gold steps. What? For him getting off the plane. Those are comms, she is saying. That's communication. That's coded messages for us to see and to hear and listen to and watch, so that we can know what's really going on behind the scenes. So let's keep our everybody's vibrations high around us. We love you, family. And we just want you to stay encouraged. What I was trying to tell you in code at the beginning of this video is yes, what Susan, where we go one, we go all, just stated. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Find that on Patriot News or go to which is restoredrepublic.co and look at the video that was produced on today, January the 30th, and you can watch it or you can listen to it for yourself. So somebody says they have a picture of bank receipts with QFS on it. That's awesome. That is exciting. So I've asked the question of multiple people and can never get an answer. Frustrating. Answer your question again, please, because I don't see it. Please forgive me. I just wanted to report the news before you all had to get back to what you're doing. So, hey, Metro, my homie from Cleveland, Ohio, I'm going to give you a call as soon as I get finished. But that is the news for today, family. Stay encouraged. I love you all so much. This is hot off the press, family. You are welcome, Sister Susie. This is news that everybody hasn't heard yet, but we've heard it so that we can stay excited, we can keep our vibrations high, and we can bring or raise the vibrations of the planet. So as you go on to prepare for the day, somebody say, blow the shofar, blow the trumpet, let the trumpet sound that this is time to celebrate. This is a time to get excited. We're headed towards a debt jubilee. We're getting ready for Nasara and Jasara. We're getting ready for our new golden era. Our new golden era, which is the era of sovereignty, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And nothing, family, nothing can stop what is coming. So somebody said they want to see these arrests on MSNBC, and you will. You will when we have the emergency broadcast system announcement or the equivalent of it. So, family, I don't have anything else to say except for, hey, sister, except for stay encouraged. Keep your vibrations high. Know that this news is out here. You just have to know where to get it, okay? Make sure you're subscribed to this channel, hit the like button, share the videos, and let our family know that our time is coming. So, family, your soul family is in the chat saying hello. Great rising. And they're all speaking to you and tell you to keep your vibrations high. I love you so much. Everybody is reporting in from all over the country and all over the world. And now I have to go. So if you have any questions, then let me know in the chat so that we can, go ahead and get ready for the revaluation of currencies worldwide. And we can get ready for the global currency reset for Nasara and Jasara. Keep checking in, family, as we wind up. Just so you know, we're all in this together. They tried to keep us enslaved together, and now we're being liberated together. Where we go one, we go all. If you desire to prepare and you don't have Iraqi dinar, you can get dinar, dong, Vietnamese, bolivar. You can get Zimbabwean zim, Zimbabwean agro checks, all type of currencies. Indonesian rupiah, the different versions of the rupee, the Indian rupee, the Pakistani rupee. You can get those from Great American Coin Company, from Banknote World, from Amazon, from eBay, from where else can you? 100trillions.com and some of your other places. So have a great day, family. I am so happy, and I trust that I've said something to encourage you. Now, on Freedom Day, we will have the gold guru himself, also known as the gold CEO. You know who he is, Andy Schectman of Miles Franklin Precious Metals Company. So Andy Schectman will be here on that day, on February 1st, Freedom Day, to talk about gold and silver and what's going on in the markets. So if you desire to get in on precious metals or to add precious metals to your portfolio, email him at, somebody says they like Safe Dinar. Email him at info@milesfranklin.com. And when you email him at milesfranklin.com, info@milesfranklin.com, ask him for a list of his inventory and a list of his prices, and he or his brokers will take your order, answer any of your questions, and let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you. That's the promo code, Dr. Kia Pruitt. Let them know that I referred you or that you heard the information here on this channel, on the Dr. Kia Pruitt channel, and they promise that they will give you the best rate in the industry. So again, if you want to buy these foreign currencies, contact the companies that we described, and somebody added to that list. Hi, Shelby. I love you too. Lived in Kentucky for 20 years. Somebody added to that list Safe Dinar in terms of where to go to buy currencies, because yes, that is a legitimate website. So family, how do you find the value of the dinar? Well, some people are saying that the rate will come out tomorrow when it's the official revaluation, or the official revaluation of that rate, but we don't know. You can't trust, exactly what they say, not as of yet, because they don't always tell us the truth. So you'll find out after an official announcement that we've all returned to the gold standard. And you all know, even though you haven't heard yet, that we've all gone to the gold standard, once Saudi Arabia made that huge announcement that they were dropping the United States dollar and joining the BRICS Union to use gold for trade, that should have been your clue that it's over. It's a wrap. So again, Putin left the United States dollar first, and then he led the whole BRICS Union, which is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, to leave the United States dollar and use gold for trade. After that, Saudi Arabia left the United States dollar. And what made the United States dollar the world reserve currency was our agreement with Saudi Arabia that we will protect your empire in exchange for your gold. Okay, we would protect your empire in exchange for your gold, and we will force other nations to trade with the United States dollar. That's what made us, our currency, the world reserve currency. And that's what made us the most powerful nation in the world, because our military backed that agreement. So once Saudi Arabia left that agreement, then once they left the United States dollar and left that agreement, then we were no longer the world reserve currency. That should have been your clue that now it's over. It's a wrap. Because the BRICS Union leaving alone was 40% of the world population. Almost half the population had left the United States dollar and was using gold for trade. Once Saudi Arabia left the United States dollar and went to gold, that added more countries. So country after country left the United States dollar until over 85% of the world population had gone and fled to gold. What I said, even before it was publicly announced that all these countries had left, is that all exporting nations had left the United States dollar. And the only nations that were using the United States dollar was what we call the USMCA, which is what 45 named this agreement or this union: United States, Mexico, and Canada. We're the parts of Canada, actually, that are still using the United States dollar. So this is why it's important for them to go ahead and make a statement that the United States dollar is no longer legal tender. So I can believe that this will happen on February 1st or around February 1st, Freedom Day, because Alexander Mooney in October introduced the Gold Restoration Bill. The Gold Restoration Bill, or the Gold Standard Act, simply defined the dollar as a fixed weight in gold. He is the same man that did that in 2018 under number 45. He did it again in October. So I knew it was just a matter of time that we will have a formal announcement that we've returned to the gold standard. But even if you don't see or hear a formal announcement, know that it has happened. There's no way 85% of the world and all exporting nations could be using gold and the United States be left out. So people that says it's us against them, the East against the West, they're just sensationalizing the news. But as I've told you all here, Project Sandaman was a formal agreement that behind the scenes, 209 nations, the agreement that you see online will say 100 plus nations, but 209 nations agreed to return to the gold standard. Okay, so when they did this, according to Project Sandaman, they will all just do it at the same time, dump the dollar and go to the gold standard. And when that occurs, all dollar denominated assets will go plunge to zero. This is why I keep bringing up articles that says the stock market is about to crash, but gold and silver will boom, because they want you to know that it's time for the whole complete system to crash. They call it a crack boom. The whole system is crashing. So again, as the dollar devalues, gold and silver increases in value. So this is why we know that we've already returned behind the scenes to the gold standard. So remember, President Trump told us gold is the standard, but silver linings are great too. So family members, keep talking to each other, because I'm about to close. Somebody said dump the dollar. Listen, if all dollar denominated assets will plunge to zero when these countries left the USD, according to Project Sandaman, and I'll put that in the description section too, you know it's over. It's a wrap. So let me summarize. What we announced today is Bye Bye Man was allegedly arrested, according to Patriot News. You can find that at restoredrepublic.co. We've also announced that allegedly the dinar will revalue on tomorrow, January the 1st. And I talked about how all the dinars are being taken off the streets and how some dealers are being told to stop selling. We also know that there's a huge CBI reserve of $100 billion and that they have about 38 ton stockpile of gold to back their dinar. So again, their dinar very well could revalue on tomorrow. We also announced that the United States dollar will no longer view the United States of America will no longer view the United States dollar as legal tender on February 1st, Freedom Day. We also announced that the United States Treasury is supposed to destroy fiat dollars returned to them by the banks and by stores on February the 2nd. Finally, February the 3rd, all Basel IV compliant banks are supposed to go public with the gold-backed currency. So all of this is great news as you prepare for February the 1st, which is Freedom Day. So get excited. Hey, this is a good time to get in some precious metals. We do know that Andy Schectman will be here on February the 1st, which is Freedom Day. So this is a good time to get into precious metals. If you are interested, then please email Andy, info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know that Dr. Kia Pruitt referred you so that you can get the best prices in the industry, and let him know about that you're interested in any specials, because we have weekly specials that come out. So family, not tomorrow, but February the 1st is Freedom Day. That day commemorates the day in 1865 when President Abraham Lincoln signed what later became known as the 13th Amendment, which is important because that amendment effectively ended slavery in the United States of America. And again, freedom is one of our founding principles of this great nation that we call the United States of America. Therefore, we should look to this day and we should reflect on this day as a day to be grateful for all the freedoms that we enjoy. And it should be a time where we celebrate and anticipate the wonderful benefits of Nasara, which restores our prosperity, our peace, our sovereignty, and our abundance. That's it, family. My name is Dr. Kia Pruitt. I hope I've said something to encourage you and to raise your vibrations, to inspire you to create the most magnificent, glorious reality that you desire and deserve. I'm out, family. I gotta go. It's celebration time. Leave your comments in the comment section and any questions you might have, because we might come back later on today to answer any questions. Like the video. Hey, Matthew. Matthew says, let's do great things. Thank you, Matthew. I'm always happy to see you. I appreciate you. Creator bless you with prosperity and peace. Thank you so much for the love offering. It's always good to see you and all of our soul family members. Share the video, family, because people need to be inspired and encouraged as we move into a new reality, because what they're hearing is about shootings and bad stuff going on, and the dollar is crashing, but they don't understand and overstand that before you go to a new system, you have to crash the old system, because at the end of every empire, they spend all the money, they print as much money as they can, and then they crash the system, they demolish it, and then go to a more sustainable system, which in our case is actually one backed by gold. So this is what they always do. So love and abundance to you all. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Please go out and make this a great day. I got to run. I got an appointment like right now. Peace, family. We'll come back later to answer any questions. Mwah.